Y'all an update on Litecoin. Right now we're at $65.20. We're up 1.54%. And what we're going to do today is go through some key areas that we're looking at here, some support that we're trying to get back up into right now, but we're just going to have to see where these moving averages are pushing us. We're dealing with a few different things, guys, including a death cross that's taking place. Our 50-day moving average is moving over and crossing down under our 200-day moving average. So that's a death cross, and the opposite is a golden cross. And what you can see is the golden cross back here. You see this, guys? So our white crossing over our yellow there, and you can see how far we got pushed to the upside. And what's happening is now we're having the reverse, or the opposite, pushing down on us, as well as this purple trend line going down right here. So we're going to get into all that, guys. I appreciate you being here. If you like these videos, go ahead, smash that like button. And I'm going to do the best that I can today. Guys, we had a big oak tree fall basically around our property here. We have about 100-foot or 100-year-old oak trees, and they're about 100 feet tall. And we actually had one blow down in a windstorm. It was an old one that was dead. So my brother-in-law and myself, we chainsawed it. It was on the ground, and we had to use a chainsaw all day. So when I'm doing all these points and stuff, it may be a little shaky, but I just want to give you the heads up on that. But it's just been a busy day, and I'm going to try to get this in as quick as I can for you all. So I appreciate you being here with me. All right, so what we're looking at here, guys, what you're seeing here is a slight little reaction taking place, okay? So every time after we have a fall, you can see here we had a little reaction. We had a doji candle, and then we just continuously moved sideways before we dropped again. You can see here how we fell hard. We had those tweezer bottoms. We had a reaction, came back down, then ultimately we failed. So right now what we're having is a little reaction. And for me to believe that this is actually the bottom here of this short-term downtrend, what I would need to see is us break up above this purple trend line and start getting back up above these moving averages. Now our moving average in blue here, this is our 20 moving average. That's going to be a very important one for us. This whole downtrend, as you can see, we've been ridden by it. We've got up to it before, we wicked out through, we got rejected and pushed to the downside, back up again. You can see we had wicks here, we got out through it, then we had rejection, got pushed to the downside. So I think the 20, we're going to be looking at the 20 moving average in blue. In green, that's going to be our 30 moving average. In yellow, that's going to be our 200-day moving average, and in white, that's going to be our 50-day moving average. And what I don't like to see besides this death cross is just the simple fact this entire uptrend, while we were in this, guys, for almost 7 months, we were up above this 50-day moving average, and then we broke down through it on decent volume. So that was some selling pressure that was taking place right there. It didn't happen on light volume. That happened on big volume, and we got pushed down. And we've been dealing with this downtrend now for over 2 months. And what happens now is we're getting almost into that intermediate term. And the intermediate term trend is anywhere from the books that I read about 3 to 6 months. So we're getting closer to that, and the longer basically we let this downtrend go, the stronger that it's going to get, just like uptrends. And we have to look at these moving averages. Basically, what I like to do is step back on the 1 week, and then you can work your way all the way in, or you can go from the 15-minute and work your way all the way back out. And you can see things, and you can see when we start closing up above these moving averages. But for me, what I would need to see is a breakout to go long on this, guys. Like I said, I'm in cash right now. To go long on this, I would need a candle close up above this trend line on good volume, and I would need to start seeing candle closes basically up above this 20 EMA, this 30, and then this 50. And I also want to see them start crossing over each other and getting that golden cross back to the upside, because other than that, we're just going to have a little reaction where we may get up to around $70, and then we fall back down even farther. Then we bounce back up and we fall back down. Guys, that's those lower highs and lower lows that we're dealing with. And you could also draw almost like a little wedge kind of that we're in right here, if you put that down in there. So just to show you, maybe that's some type of falling wedge that we could get a break out of, but we need a break out of that trend line on big volume. That's what it's going to be. If we start just having a candle close up above that and it's not on good volume, then it's going to be more suspect. And that's what I've been reading in a lot of my books, is really confirming with those volume moves. Now, if we just look at the candles, guys, what we're seeing here is we've had 3 days now where the bulls have basically, let me see here, have basically supported $61.84. You can see we're slowly climbing up there. But what I'm thinking is this may just be a little reaction here, guys, and we want to pay attention to that, because we don't want to see us, try to buy down in here and catch those falling knives, and we move up to maybe 70 and then we fall back down even farther. So it's always better, as I've been listening to professional traders, it's always better to wait for confirmation. Even if you missed the very beginning of the move, you want to wait for that trend to be established. So maybe even a breakout of here and then you have that pullback where it's a higher low, and then go long there and see if you can catch that higher high. But those are the things that I'm really studying now, is trends on the short term, the intermediate term, and the longer term time frame there. So now what we're going to do is look at a few different indicators. And the first one, we're going to look at our stock. And our stock looks like we potentially could get a bullish cross here. We're at 13 and 14, so we are in oversold territory there. But remember, guys, you can always just have those little fake outs like over here where it looks like we're going to cross and you come back down, you chop back and forth for a while. That's always a possibility. So you'd want to see confirmation of good cross on good volume there if you were going to take a long off that stochastic. But what I like to do, I like to put many different indicators and moving averages together so that you have more than one thing going for you. That's just my opinion. You guys, and smash that like button if you get something out of this. You want me to still just keep covering Litecoin and telling you what I'm thinking about it, because guys, in my opinion, I still think Litecoin's a great project, and we just need to get out of this downtrend. And once we're out of this downtrend, we start making those higher highs and higher lows. That would be the time to jump back in and potentially ride that next trend. It's all about looking for the trends. And now the MACD here, we did have a bearish cross right here. We're starting to hook a little bit, so maybe it's one where we just drop down, then cross up above, but we have to look at that. Running a little bit more neutral there. And then we'll take a look at our RSI. Relative strength index, we're down at 29, so we are in oversold territory right now, which is a good thing. So if we were to make a move out of here on big volume, it wouldn't be too suspect, just due to the fact that we are in oversold condition. So we want to pay attention to that, guys. But I can't stress enough waiting for confirmation, even if you do miss the beginning of a move. Because look, say you missed this right here, the spike here. Do you see that pullback that we had? That's the time you would be buying. Right up above all these moving averages, everything's looking good. That's the time then you would want to hodl and you would want to try to ride this up based on these moving averages. And what you could see here is even look at that 50-day moving average. And each time we basically came back and hit it, or we gapped away from it, we moved higher. And these retracements were happening in 0.618. This was a 0.618 retracement. I'll show you that sometime. We'll go through that. But each one of these, it retraced to the 0.618, then it bounced again. Back down, 0.618, bounced again. It's crazy. So these are the things that you just want to put, you know, in front of you, and you want to put them all, basically, guys, just like a carpenter who has all his tools. You want to put all your tools together. You don't want to have too many where you're just cluttered, but you want to have your tools, and you want to, you know, go through each one and make sure that you have that confirmation before you get in. Because technical analysis, guys, it's not about rubbing a crystal ball. It's about putting the odds in your favor, and if you're wrong, cut it. You're out, you're done. If it moves past the area you were looking at where you have your stop loss, you're out, and you look for the next trade. But if it's one that's doing well and you're trying to ride that trend, then that's the time that you want to hodl. You don't want to hodl when you're in a downtrend here. You know, think if you even sold, guys, once we crossed down through the 50 moving average, if you would have sold right there, that's at $120, and look where we're at now. Think how many more Litecoin, if you took your cash right here, you're sitting in cash and you're waiting to see once we get this confirmation, think how many more Litecoin you'll be able to accumulate. You know, so these are the things that I want to teach people, because I've basically been in this space for roughly about 2 years or so, guys, and I started trading about a year ago. And with learning how to trade, it takes away a little bit of that instinct to hodl so much, because if you hodl, then you put basically your capital at risk in a down market when you're having those lower highs and lower lows, and you don't want to do that. In a bear market or a down market, cash is king, and you want to look for, you know, a good stock that is oversold but has the potential of bouncing back. And you want to be patient, and you want to, you know, get the middle of a move. Because say you even get down in here, guys, and you start riding this, yeah, you missed this initial 30-40%, whatever it was, but you got to ride all this. And that's what you're trying to catch. And even if you get out early, and you saw right here, guys, some long wicks right there, it looked like, you know, that was the time. Our RSI was probably having a slight divergence at that point. Maybe that was the time to get out. And even if it pushes a little higher, you still did great. You're always going to leave money on the table. You're never going to nail the bottom. You're never going to sell the top for the most part. And that's just what you have to realize as a trader and as an investor. So, you know, guys, if you have a coin that you really enjoy, and you say, I just want to hodl this, it's a great price, put it away, put it on a ledger, go for it. But if you want to protect your capital and you want to be long in this game and you want to have good opportunities, you want to learn to trade. And that's why I'm trying to read these books, and I'm trying to, you know, express that the best that I can to people on here. I know some people get upset about it, but I've been in this situation. Like I said, I got in whatever it was, guys, April or whatever. I think April or May of 2017. And I learned so much. I got to ride that all the way up. And as opposed to putting trailing stop losses in like I know now, so if it turned against me, I would have taken my profit. I didn't. I was listening to people because I just got in the space telling me to hodl, and that's my own fault. But I wasn't going to be fooled by the market twice. And if I'm wrong now, then I have the stop loss and I get out at a minimal loss. You want to look at that risk to reward ratio. But right now, the trend is down. These moving averages are pushing down on us. So I'm just putting that warning out there. Yes, we may have a reaction up to $70 or so somewhere in here, but we still could see further downside. And I just want you to protect yourself. Be careful. If you're long, you're hodler, go for it. But if you're trying to trade, don't try to catch those falling knives. That's one of the worst things that you can do. You could try to catch a falling knife here. You see this big drop. That was basically, let's get a price range out on it. So a price range, just that drop alone was 16% in a day. That's how crazy this space is, guys. You don't want to lose 16% of your capital in a day just from a crazy move like that. When you can see that we had really long wicks here about a week apart. We were having a lot of like hanging man candles and shooting star candles in here. There's a lot of indecision in there, and that would have been the time to get out. So we're learning stuff together, guys. Like I said, I'm still a beginner in this. I'm not your financial advisor, but I'm here for you the best that I can. And we're just going to keep going after this market. I don't care if Litecoin's $11, whatever. I'm still going to cover it for y'all. And we're going to do the best we can because it still could offer trading opportunities. Or if it's $1,000, it is what it is. And we just have to go for it and do the best we can. So that's what I'm here for. If you like these videos, guys, smash that like button. I always want to be real with you. I don't want to tell you Litecoin's going to $2,000 in the next 3 months because it's probably not. So we just have to be real about that, and we have to take these trading opportunities because there's a lot of volatility in this space. So that's what I wanted to leave you with, guys. Have a wonderful Saturday night. I'm going to go relax, take a shower, just chill down a little bit. That was pretty intense going after that big oak tree. Those things are crazy, trying to cut through those. The wood's just so strong. So it was an experience, but I'm here with you guys tonight, and I appreciate it. God bless and take care.